Hey y'all, welcome to Beauty for Ashes, episode 3. So today I want to talk about how fragrance shaped my life and how it helped me to get through a very difficult season in life. So first off, I want to say that, when people usually think about perfume, they think about smelling good. But for me, it became something way more deep. Fragrance embodies so many memories. One of my earliest memories with fragrance is, like I said, it was with my mom. And when I was in college, she used to wear this fragrance that I still remember it to this day. It was light blue. And that fragrance, it gave me so much comfort. When I would smell light blue on her or anybody else, it instantly reminded me of my mom. And so even though I didn't have her there with me, just having that or remembering how she smelled, and whenever someone would wear it or I would smell it in the air, or somebody would walk past me, I knew that was, in my mind, a reminder of her comfort. And even though she's not there, her presence was, in a way. So light blue was one of the fragrances that just forever changed the way I view fragrance and how I definitely kind of encoded it in memory. As many memories that I have of how fragrance has been adventurous and joyful in my life, I also have memories of where seasons were difficult. And one of my spiritual mothers, she was the one who prayed for me. She was the one who always laid hands on me. And she has a signature scent, okay? Now, I've known her for over 10 years, and all the years I've known her, she's always smelled the same. Very clean, very sophisticated, and just like heaven's garden on earth. And so when I was going through a season of cancer, I had to attend multiple doctor visits. If you've ever went through something as difficult as cancer, you're seeing the doctor constantly. And one particular visit, I knew I had to go in to get reports on how things were going, on how the treatment was going. And I felt alone because that particular day I didn't have my support system with me. I felt unsure. I felt not myself, just weak. But still getting through, just tired, all the things. And so I went on the elevator, and in that moment, I was looking around and I'm like, wait, I know, is she on here? Like, is she in this elevator? There was nobody there. It was just me. But there was this waft of her perfume, of her fragrance. And instantly I felt reassured. I felt comforted, and I felt like I wasn't alone. Fragrance that she wears, it's actually called Janice. It is her signature fragrance. And when I say it's her signature fragrance, that's her signature fragrance, meaning it is her fragrance. She now has this fragrance bottle, so the name of it is Janice. But when I tell you that fragrance couldn't have been made for anyone better, it embodies her personality. She is a walking vessel of the living, the Holy Spirit. And so, yeah, she walks heavy in the spirit. And when you have someone that is consecrated to God, who has a relationship with God, a prayer life, and someone who spends a lot of time with Christ, their presence hits different. And so does their smell, so does their fragrance. We each have that individual fragrance. Before you've even put on perfume, before you've even, put on your body lotions and your creams, you naturally radiate a certain fragrance. And if there was a name for that, I would say it was Christ-like. Another fragrance that reminds me that we are never alone, God is always there, and that He loves us is a fragrance that my good friend used to wear. And I believe she still wears this fragrance to this day, but I don't care if she does or doesn't. It's so signature to her, because this is the one fragrance I will always remember when I get a whiff of it, or if anybody else is walking past me with it. When I smell this one, it instantly reminds me of her. And I am speaking about her because she also was with me during such a difficult time and a pivotal moment when I was in the hospital for tumors that were found in my brain. And this wasn't that long ago. This was about 6.5 months ago. So she was there also in the beginnings of my cancer journey. And by the grace of God, I'm doing 1,000% better. And I talk about this because, you know, when I smell perfume, it reminds me of being comforted alone, and that I still have purpose. And if I still have purpose, and if God is with me, who can be against me? So that to me is why fragrance is so dear. It's because it reminds me of never being alone, and that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, so much that God cares about us just enough to send loved ones or to send people to help us through these different seasons, these difficult seasons. And I am so comforted when I smell these fragrances. And that is when I realize it's more than just perfume. As much as I love fragrance, I've learned that beauty isn't in a perfume bottle, okay? It's not in our appearance, in our age, in all the skincare products that we do. No, I'm not confused. Beauty is not what the world says about us, but real beauty begins when we understand just how deeply we're loved by God. And when you grasp just how much He loves you and just how valued you are, truly something changes from the inside out. See yourself differently. You begin to treat yourself differently. Not because you're trying to earn your worth, but because you know that your worth is more than your weight in gold. You know that your worth has already been given to you by the one who created you. It isn't fragrance that makes me beautiful. It's simply one small way I choose to celebrate the woman God is shaping me into. As I continue to grow in my faith, I'm learning to honor the body God has given me, to be intentional about what I let into my heart and my mind, to care for my body and my health, to protect my peace, and to be mindful of every single thing I let into my 5 senses. In addition to that, and the most importantly, to be mindful and intentional about being in God's presence than chasing the things this world has to offer. None of us does this perfectly. I'm still learning too, but every day I want my world to reflect more of Christ and less of Candace in everything that I do. Wearing a beautiful fragrance reminds me that I am cared for, loved, redeemed, and created with purpose. Then so beautiful reminder that I'll gladly carry with me.